Hello everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be going through a bunch of coins that I purchased for about $2,000, or I want to actually say $1,700, because there's actually $330 worth of coins I'm going to save for a different video because they're not really in the main focus of it, but it's more of a bulk purchase, and I think that it will be really interesting for you to see how I go about doing these. It's something that I've been trying to ramp up just on my end in terms of building a business and buying coins in bulk, paying, prices that are a little bit over gray sheet basically on a lot of this material, but wanted to give you an update, slightly larger buy, and I'm excited to see what we got. We also got some personal additions to my collection, so really fun. And yeah, I'll cut this open and we'll start looking at the coins. There's some exciting stuff that I'm going to continue to remove, and that one's a cool coin I'm going to save for later. Most of this, is not like a grab bag or anything like that. But anyways, I'm going to get all this stuff out of the package and I'll show you what I got. So I did just finish unpacking stuff, and I think it's a really neat mix of things, and I figure I'll just start with some of the real bulk buys first. So just to explain a little bit of my buying process, Graysheet, I think it's published by Coin Dealer Network, CDN Graysheet, will have like suggested prices on coins, and this is from a wholesaler. So I decided to, buy a bunch of these because I thought that they were at a reasonable price and I could just get them in person. I ended up paying like 10% over Graysheet for them, but I just thought that they were, I was able to go through and pick out some of the, coins that are in decent shape, basically, as opposed to like super cleaned ones or things like that. So they were not sight unseen, but a lot of these are, just these Columbian Exposition half dollars, and I think 400th anniversary of 1492. They made them in 1892 and 1893. I think 1892 is a slightly scarcer date, but there's not a huge value differential. But I just felt like all of these had decent eye appeal, and when I think about coins, like this is the sort of material that there's a little bit of cleaning on it, but it looks pretty like collectible condition. There's still some luster, and people can add something like this to their collection, a genuine half dollar from, Classic Commemorative from before 1900 with a really cool design, the very first Classic Commemorative, at a very affordable price to their condition. So that's what I like about these, and I might sell these in something like one of my whatnot auctions. I might sell them in grab bags, and then I might hold on to a few, though there is a very special one that I'll be showing you in a moment. But yeah, I mean, it's also good. I always find like I bought them at a price where, maybe I end up breaking even on them, but it's also possible that I could make some money. And I think, that's the sort of thing that just sort of happens, and it's good to add to the overall amount that you're paying. So like here's some 1892s, which I think they're like slightly better. I don't think I paid a difference for them. But like, and some of these are in tougher shape. Others, like there's a few, maybe an old clean, but like that one looks decent. Like there's a little bit of luster on it when you rotate it around. So again, super historic coins, and I believe that I bought 40 total. So, the value on something like that definitely going to add up across 40 of these half dollars. There were also a few other Classic Commemoratives that I thought were pretty attractively priced, and I bought, I think they were all sets of like PDS. So this one, 1946S, and a 46P. So the set, I think, was a little more than $65, but not too much more. And, for a coin from 1946, great commemorative half dollar, one of the later ones, but in gorgeous shape, I feel like, call it 25 bucks a coin or something, to be buying these bulk. I'm very confident that collectors will pay more than that. And again, I haven't figured it out. Like I could use one or two of these in my Dansko album, but it's all these different dates. Like if different people are looking for different dates, can also, when I'm offering them in my sales, provide a little bit of flexibility there, I guess, as well. So anyways, like that's more, this is, I try to provide windows into my buying strategies. Obviously, sometimes I'll try to like keep a source secret or something like that, but it's not like I was paying too different than you could get from most of a wholesaler. And these ones I probably paid a little bit more than I would have to pay for them on eBay, but again, I was able to like pick out some decent looking ones. And these are some of my favorite coins. I had previously gotten 2 in a grab bag, but they were actually in really bad condition in that grab bag, and I didn't really realize how cool of a coin they were until I saw these in person. I was like, I gotta go after these and make a purchase on them. They are some Russian Kopek coins, but I'm just gonna open this carefully so I don't scratch the coins, and I'll be back in a moment. And check this out. I bought 10 of them, these monster 5 Kopek coins, copper coins from Russia. I think that they were, I want to say that's Queen Catherine, or like Catherine the Great from like 1763 up to maybe 89 or 93 or something like that. But these are super, super chunky, 1771. I mean, you think what was going on in the world at that point, just to have these huge pieces of history. I tried to get a mix of dates, 1766. You know, that very well might have been like around the 7 Years' War, obviously sort of in that colonial time period with what was going on in the States, and a lot of global turmoil. Here, 1787. Oh man, this is going to really put my lack of really good date. I never memorized the dates that well in history class. I don't know if any of you can relate, but I want to say, was Washington president in 1789? Like they were ratifying the Constitution in 1787? It's got to be something like that. And here, that would have been firmly during the Revolutionary War period, I believe. And I think that it wraps up like 82, 83, something like that, Articles of Confederation. It's been a long time since I took a U.S. history class, but again, 1784. And let me know, you know, I think I paid like $25 each, and I thought that was a pretty good, well, I thought it was a pretty good deal, but then I saw some on eBay again that were selling for like less than that, but then I saw some other ones that were selling way more than that. So anyways, and check out the edges. They're just like, so it looks like, you know, there was some study that showed that like we prefer if we get meat like from a deli that it's like cut in a way that makes it look like it wasn't artificially processed, and I'm getting the same feeling with these. Like obviously they were made, but they're cut to like different standards, and I really appreciate that. You also probably know that I really enjoy error and variety coinage, so I'm not going to probably go into a huge amount of detail on all of these buys, but I did make some basically, and I can't tell, like some of the stuff I might sell. I'll probably sell a little bit of it just to like keep inventory moving, but I generally think that error coins are a decent value just because there's far fewer of them being produced these days. So like these look to be broad struck, which is not as much like off center, but instead they're going to be, you know, they basically the retaining collars weren't there, so they really spread out. And you know, some of these are just really, really cool. You know, the metal flows way out in a way that seems really unnatural. You can see the letters not even completed, D and E in 1 dime. And you know, they really cut down on this sort of stuff leaving the mint, to the best of my knowledge. So for something like this to get at a pretty cheap price, like I want to say I didn't pay over 15 bucks a coin on those. I can't actually remember. And that one looks a little bit off center just because it looks like some of the planchette is. So I don't know, maybe that, I don't know, would you guys consider that off struck? But I mean, the whole design is there. So anyways, that's the sort of thing where I'm like, if I just bought those and leave them sitting there, you know, but then it's tough for me to invest, like tell people to invest in coins either. I'm always cautious with that because it's like the coin market doesn't make sense sometimes. Like some things will feel really cheap, other things people are paying for crazy, and I'm sitting there thinking like there's no way that I would pay for that. But then you know, just things that are sort of cool and special, like an off-center penny. I mean, man, isn't that, you know, to be able to pick something like that up for about 15 or 17 bucks, like it just feels like a good deal to me. Actually, I think I paid a little bit under $15, but I'm saying like retail value. I don't know, maybe all of you think much differently from me, but I also like testing it out, and you know, I just think that there's demand for something cool like that. So I'm going to put those back in the bag because there's a bunch of off-center pennies that I purchased, and they're all pretty similar. You can make a clock set, which is like you try to get them, you know, some one struck, like that would be, you know, you try to get one struck where the off center goes that way, one where the off center is directly to the side, and all around like in a clock. So that's something that you could look into. But I wanted to say thank you to the seller on this one, because here it was, you know, he and I both recognized that this was like much better than just a regular broad struck coin. I believe that this is a multi-struck coin, and those are much more desired by collectors. But you can see, you know, there's some reading, then it expands out again. I want to say it was multi-struck as opposed to railroad rim, and so basically I didn't pick up the other few. Like they're like, hey, if, you know, some sellers or some buyers would say, if I already agreed to sell you, you know, he was like, oh, I'll do X per coin on this batch, and I was like, sure. I didn't even realize that there were better stuff in it, but we noticed that they were there, and I felt better about having them take it back, and then as a token of their thanks, you know, it was only like 5 or 6 coins, but they included one at the price, and I felt very thankful, and I hope to do business with them a bunch in the future. So, you know, that's another thing, like prioritizing slightly longer term relationships in coins. Like obviously if somebody does something wrong to you, that's a different case. But, you know, when you're buying, and, you know, the supplier here has been great to me in the past. I try to do business when I can with them. You know, I think it's a good outcome, basically. And then this is a repunch date. So I paid, I got a good deal on this one, and it's going to go into my personal collection, but it's a repunch 3, Feva Stanton 301, and decent condition too. So we'll zoom in, see if we can see it, because I actually am not sure. They just posted it on their Instagram story, and I was like, I'll buy it, tell me what the price is, or something like that, or maybe the price was on there. But very fun addition to my collection. And with like varieties, I just find, you know, I have to focus on making content, and like I'm also in college, and I generally don't get the chance to like go to coin shows and hunt places for varieties, so it makes sense for me, given how much I like them, to buy them. But the coins that I think are like the coolest, and I have no idea if it's a good value or not, I paid 30 bucks each for them, which I thought was just a cool opportunity to own some Tanzanian mint heirs. And if you're watching a lot of this video, or a lot of my videos, you'll probably be able to now recognize who I bought this group from. But Tanzania 1966 mint heir, mint state 64 curve clip at 1230. So like if you're doing a clock set, here's a curve clip at 630. So now you're, well, I was gonna say 1/12 of the way, but we've got, you know, if you're doing it on the 30-minute schedule, you got 1/12 of the way as well, if you got two 24ths basically. But I just saw that these were so neat, and they're already encapsulated, which is going to cost, you know, I paid probably slightly less than the grading fee, but it was the sort of thing where the seller just wanted to keep it moving. And this one was just struck off center. You know, it's worn, not particularly super struck off center, but it was enough where I was like, hey, I want to put that also, given that I like heirs and varieties, put that in a personal collection. So yeah, that concludes today's video. Interesting buys. I thought that they were fun. Maybe you did. Maybe you think I paid way too much. I want to say again, like 1700-ish was maybe like no, I think it was like 1760 for this whole group. And yeah, let me know how I did. I'll see you on some future videos. I'm trying to video almost everything that I buy. Actually, I realized that I did leave out something, which is this. And it feels like it's pretty securely taped. But I think that it's a few more commemorative half dollars, and for the sake of completeness, I'm going to try to be complete here, and we'll see what's inside. But I think it's going to be some, yeah, there we go, some Carver Washington commemoratives. I believe that these were the last ones to be produced, or maybe not, but you know, really nice shape. Love how there's the 48 continental states on there, but each outline, so there's a fair amount of detail. And you know, these are like flashy, but not like super clean where you're probably going to want to grade them. But great additions to, like, again, a Dansko type set, or for a collector who's like, hey, I want to own a really cool piece of history. Wow, look at that. That one, well, it's not showing up as nice on camera, but looks cool in person. And then, oh, there, it looks like there's the toner on the bottom, because I did get a chance to check some of these out. It was actually a while ago. I didn't get to unbox the package with my college schedule, but check out the toning on that thing. So none on this side, but yeah, some wild like a little rainbow sheen up top. So that one, probably gonna hold on to that or sell it in a different manner. But yeah, so thankful for this opportunity to buy, and I'll keep on plugging, having fun building my coin business and taking you all along for the ride and my collection. So yeah, having lots of fun. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Treasure Town, and get in touch with me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, check out my website, treasuretowncoins.com, for news and updates related to the channel and collectibles in general. Lastly, there's a link tree in the description with links to all of my other sites, as well as some affiliate links that can support the channel. But with that being said, have a great day, and I'll hope to see you on some of my videos in the future.